Cough, 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 cough. Yes, we've seen all this before. Lots and lots before. This is our final good ending that we need to do. We've been through this whole rigmarole before. We know what we're doing, more or less. Such sexy murderous people. Wow. Oh my lord. There's our Goyle. Oh. I still have mixed feelings about Trapper. Because I really want to not like him. But his story was kind of cute in a way. For a gorgeous monster stand there. Yep, What are we going to do? Let's say nothing, do nothing. You stand frozen in complete silence. Can I be honest with you? It's kind of a weird move. Okay, but Spirit is the only one still smiling at me. It's as if you truly don't care that someone asked you politely. You're doing you, despite how much of a weirdo or just a jerk it might make you look. Clearly, you don't even care. You're not my supervisor. Is this some kind of display of confidence? Confusion? Sheer awkwardness? You feel judged, but you're not sure how. Spirit cuts the silence. Get it? Cause she got the katana sword? That probably wasn't a pun, and I'm reading too much into it, but I think it's funny. With a giggle that she quickly swallows when she sees that it caught your attention. How attractive would you say you are? Not at all. Sure. Let's go with flight as our superpower. Flight for sure. Technically, I suppose I can fly. Honestly, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. As far as I go, I'm still not where I want to be. What was your best subject in school? History. Nice. It's important to know what came before so that we are not doomed to repeat humanity's mistakes. I mean, we will anyways, but still. That's a little depressing. Favorite animal? The kitty cat. What? Why is everyone looking at me? You think just because I'm the typical cute goth girl, I have some specific love of all things cats, and more specifically black cats? Well, I do, but you can all go to hell anyway. Favorite color? Blue, sure. Blue is it? You know what? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. What's your dream job? I prefer not working at all. If we get to do what we really want, why work at all? It takes a lot of courage to break free from society's expectations to climb the ladder. Only she could spin laziness into some kind of grand crusade. These damned millennials. Now we need to pick where we want to go, and we are going to pick the lounge, which is where Spirit wants to go. It'd be great to relax for a second at the lounge. To kick up your feet, look out over the ocean, and relax on your own terms. Who would want anything else? Dry, comfortable, enjoying a cool drink on a hot day. It's the best. I mean, what kind of fool, what kind of monster, what kind of mask-wearing psychopath would finally be granted a break from the constant grind of chasing and fighting to get ahead, and then choose to exert themselves in, quite frankly, any way whatsoever? Why am I the only one who gets it? It's time to stop living by their rules. I won't do it any longer. Yeah, we should probably give her a second to calm down. Hold on. Yeah, you're gonna make me choose again, even though I already made my selection. Don't know why, don't understand, but we're not gonna accidentally misclick this time. Again. Lounge! Finally, freedom from the preposterous premise that the four of us would be engaged in some sort of thrilling 2-on-2 volleyball match. Spirit looks at you from beneath her gigantic sun hat. She takes a conspiratorial tone. I don't know whose idea volleyball was in the first place, but I hate them. I tried to feign a sprained ankle, but everyone already knows that I technically float above the ground, so nobody believed I was even putting any pressure on my joints in the first place. I mean, yeah, accurate. Then I tried to annoy everyone by not giving a crap, and when that didn't work, I tried whining, and when that didn't work, I threatened to
kill every single person on this island.
But it turns out I'm not the first to toss those kinds of threats around on this island. So, thanks, I guess, for getting it called off. Okay. Are we threatening to end each other again? Now it's Dwight who takes on a conspiratorial tone, his eyes shifting as he slips into a loud whip-sir. Okay, listen, my reading ability is already compromised. Y'all are not helping me by refusing to proofread your dialogue.
Please, just make it quick.
Is what you'll be saying when we get behind the bar to make you the drink of your dreams. Hilarious. Right, Dwight?
Yeah, right. So what'll you be having?
We are going to go with a virgin daiquiri. I mean, I do like daiquiris, but none of the virgin kind. At this point, you might as well have a smoothie. I didn't come here to party. I'm just trying to make the best of very strange situations. I don't know, how about a daiquiri?
I know how to make that.
But skip the liquor. I'll have mine virgin. Trapper snickers at your choice of words. Sure you will, kid. Don't mind him. We don't need to soak ourselves in booze just to please someone else's expectations. Truth. If you ask me, there's enough spirits here already. Thank you, ma'am. Besides, alcohol just numbs you to the painful realities of the world. I choose to face them head on. You'd never do something like, I don't know, hide from it all behind the world's largest hat or anything. Please, allow me to ignore any fashion advice from the man wearing a doll's face as a mask. Not a doll's face, jerk. Since we fulfilled your requests,
It's time for you to return the favor.
should have known there was a catch. Icebreaker time. I swear, had I known they'd pull this kind of faux enthusiastic community building crap, I'd have suggested we attempt to walk to the lowest point of the ocean before I ever set foot near this bar. You don't think it could be kind of fun? A little fun? Never mind. I hate it. This sucks. But it could be fun. Or whatever you say. Has anyone seen my hat? I've literally never seen him in a hat. If we must make small talk, I'm at least picking a topic before we end up being forced to do some lame improv game that nerds learn at their non-sports after-school activities that I definitely never did because I'm no nerd. I'm feeling pursued right now and I don't like it. Methinks are certain someone doth protest too much. Sitting here on this beautiful sunny afternoon, warm sand beneath the cool fog beneath my severed feet. The topic I choose is books. Novels, comics, fiction or non. Reading is the only real escape from the inescapable horror of life. The escape into your own mind. A groan rolls through the crowd. Not a lot of readers here, I imagine, based on that response. They were much more enthusiastic about drinking. Considering the situation we're in, it seems an appropriate time to ask you, what's your desert island book? The one book you'd bring with you if you were, well, on an island like this. Oh, and it has to be classic horror for reasons that should be obvious. She means because this is an island of horror villains. And also those books are in all the public domain. We love us some public domain. Nothing too modern. Humanity has really gotten soft these past 100 years. So what's your favorite? totally. Dracula is one classic that's still scary. To be seduced by some beautiful stranger, only to learn later that they're an immortal villain. I'm gonna be honest, I've never read any of those. It's downright thrilling. Well, I guess, but I was going to say that despite the deviant behavior of Dracula and the threat of possible danger or even death that he poses, you can't help but get turned on by the liberation from the status quo that he represents. I mean, this is basically kind of the whole game in a nutshell, because we're romancing literal serial killers. But okay. Yeah. Same here. So what if some old doctor says he's a bad boy? You're supposed to reek like garlic and sleep alone? Who did they think would buy into that? If you're going to be trapped in the nightmare that is undead life eternal, which I know a little something about, you could do a lot worse than great clothes, a castle, and a lover who doesn't take shit from anyone. The scariest part about Dracula is thinking that no one will ever be quite as interesting to make love to as a vampire. Enough about these old stories that belong to someone else. Hey, I finally remembered the half-assed Russian accent this time. Ah, progress. I think it's time to make up some new stories of our own. Before you know what's going on, Huntress is waving an empty vodka bottle in the air, a devilish twinkle in her half-mask-covered eye. Might I suggest something a little naughty? Let's all get in a circle and spin this bad boy. No K-pop daddy abs. Okay, now we're doing spin the bottle, which I kind of fluffed up on before and accidentally ended up on Huntress. Focus. It's really just random at this point. Yes! You got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? Spirit is your true match. Oh, yes, bestie. Ooh. Just this morning, you were waking up on a strange beach surrounded by strangers with murderous intent. Now you're looking across a beach towel at Spirit, lust in her eyes, sweat glistening on her skin. Your heart races. You can feel your pulse pounding in your ears. Spirit takes you by the hand and you sit face to face at a private section of the bar. Oh, with the butterflies. Oh my god. Wait, so since we answered everything correctly and, you know, kind of got on her good side a bit, are we actually going to kiss? Because the first time we did this, Huntress said she didn't want to kiss us yet until she was ready to open up to us. She wanted it to mean something, which was really cute as shit and why I ended up going for Huntress in the end. I wonder if that'll be the same way here. She begins to reach for you, putting her hands on your shoulders. You're sweating, but not in the sexy way she is. You're sweating in the gross way you'd sweat at the interview for a job you're not even remotely qualified for. You don't know what to do. If you try and lock lips in this state, you might gross her out so completely that she'll never be able to look at you romantically again. Spirit, I have some bad news for you. Oh no. I have something in my teeth, don't I? I think it might be seaweed. I have no idea how long I was in the ocean. No, well, maybe, but that's not what I was going to say. It's not happening. Not now. And maybe not ever. Y'all hear that sound? That faint, delicate little cracking sound? That's my heart. If they think I'm going to make out with some stranger just because the bottle told me to, they've got another thing coming, and so do you. Namely, a katana into your heart. Fine! Do it! It's already broken anyways! If you even try to make a move under such absurd circumstances. Damn it. I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I know. You seem pretty harmless, and not at all that bad to kiss. If I were interested, which I'm not at this moment in time. Are we going to tell them we kissed? We are. I'm not above lying to get what I want. Ooh. So the thing about me not being that bad to kiss, was that a lie to get me to play along? If you want to know the truth, figure it out for yourself. But don't expect this life to just hand you gifts like me. All I was ever handed was pain and suffering. Treat me well, and I'll return the favor, Mommy. Sorry, Mommy. Sorry, Mommy. Otherwise, try a different route and see what happens.
I hate to break up such a passionate moment.
That we only assume was passionate because we'd never spy on you constantly while you stay on this island.
But dinner is being served right away and we must insist that you join us.
We wouldn't want anyone dying of starvation. There are so many more interesting things to die from. I am gonna channel my inner emo ghosty girl. And I'm gonna say, this is gross. Just because you place it in front of me, you expect me to be happy about it? Everything about this dinner is an abomination. From what is almost certainly human meat to the lack of manners to the talk of dismembered parts. And these noises, everything is so vile, I might throw up. Even Spirit is talking about number twos. I thought she was the classy one. Oh my god. Okay, if nothing, I'm happy we chose that just for her reaction. Oh my god, priceless. Well then, I didn't realize our eating habits grossed you out. Don't be so judgmental, sheesh. Uh-oh. Oh no. If I could feel shame or sadness, I might be experiencing both right now. Did I do an oops? But what I can feel is rage, and I'm furious you just ruined the meal. I have a whole leg to eat. Even though you're in the hot seat now, you're not nearly as panicked as you probably should be. That's almost certainly the lack of calories catching up to you. Your whole body shuts down. You wake up to find Spirit holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Don't you just love the ocean at night? I do. Staring out over the vast darkness of the ocean really validates the feelings inside me that we're all truly insignificant.
And only the thing worth pursuing is revenge!
Hot. I have to wonder, how could anyone believe anything else? You look out into the darkness of night and ponder her question. Well, it's a simple question. How could they? How could anyone not feel small and alone in the face of such massive nothingness? Well, you've always been alone. Maybe it's Spirit's words. Maybe it's the ocean. Or maybe it has always been this way. But you suddenly feel connected to Spirit's words. I may not remember much about my life before, but there's one thing I know to be true. I've always been alone. And I always will be alone. Spirit has turned from looking at the ocean and is looking directly at you now. It's a funny idea, isn't it? Being alone. Together. It's the best we can hope for. Maybe. Or maybe it's too much to hope for. Maybe it's impossible to pretend we know anything. Is that just arrogance? Ugh, I was so dumb. So busy trying to please everyone and be the perfect student, the perfect employee, the perfect daughter. I didn't take care of myself. And now I'm all that I've got. Now it's all that I've got. It's all that I've got. Worst of all, I got distracted from my true purpose, my destiny. The purpose was sitting inside me my whole life. Okay, so this might sound a bit silly, but Spirit looks around to see if there's anyone else on the beach. When she's convinced that it's only you two, she continues. There's a dragon that lives inside me. I've always known, but I've tried to ignore it. When I couldn't ignore it, I tried to push it down. I'm so stupid. You're not stupid. That sounds badass. Right? But I didn't let it out. And then I, chop chop. And now that dragon is pretty much a one-track revenge beast. But enough about me. What's inside of you, stranger? Nothing but darkness. Oh god, how emo. I'd kill to have a dragon. Maybe not the best choice of words. I mean, a dragon sounds awesome. Honestly, though, I don't feel like I've got anything inside me at all. Just, hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Just darkness. Never ending darkness. Oh, God. What the hell is this? Am I back in high school? Wow. And here I thought Spirit was the biggest goth on this island until you arrived. Perhaps I could light a torch and search through that darkness. Yeah, because we passed out. Waste of time. Only one person could tell a story. Oh no, goodness, I wonder who I'm gonna choose, Spirit. I choose you, Spirit. Yes. Pokemon reference. Really? You want to hear from me? Spirit huffs and dramatically rolls her eyes as she gets to her feet in front of the campfire. Oh, don't let her talk you out of it. She is great with ghost stories. I don't know where she gets it, but she comes up with the scariest stuff. Seriously disturbing, even to me, and I literally pulled a guy's skull and spine out once with my bare hands. Talk about bullshit stories. If everyone else is going to chit-chat, I guess I can just sit down and... Huntress's eyes go red behind her mask, and both Trapper and Wraith take their seat. They know when it's worth fighting and when it's not. Is Huntress into Spirit? I mean, I could ship it. We gotta set the mood. Well, I hate to break it to you, but tonight's story isn't scary. It's a romance. Too late now, though. I was selected, and so I'm going to tell my story. I call it The Prisoner's Kiss. You notice that Huntress and Wraith are both sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Nobody offered you popcorn. Oh, I want some popcorn. It was a dark summer night. Warm rain seeped from the sky like blood from an old wound. Detective Hata, a celebrated investigator and renowned hostage negotiator, was called to the scene of a strange occurrence, unlike anything she had ever seen before. When she arrived, the scene was chaotic. Crowds had begun to gather. A dozen other officers were doing everything they could to keep curious onlookers away. But how could anyone resist wanting to know more? For there, in the middle of a busy market, had appeared a giant box. Strange, alien in its appearance, and massive in size. That's the dream. No one knew how it got there. Was it delivered? Built on site? In such a busy area? How could something like this just appear? A mystery. It was as if conjured by magic. But this was no illusion. The box was very real, and someone was trapped inside. Spirit pauses her story to look from face to face of each audience member. She had no expression, but you feel her vibrating with energy. She's in her element. "Help me!" cried someone inside the box. It was a man, terrified, trapped, imprisoned, his voice trembling. By now, it was as if every detective in the city was there, looking the strange structure up and down, inspecting it on every side. It didn't make sense. There were no doors, no windows, no fasteners or seams. It was completely solid and much too heavy to move by hand. Solid, that is, except for a single small slit, just enough to see the bloodshot eyes of the prisoner trapped inside. This is supposed to be a romance story. I'm a little confused. I'm not getting real cutesy romantic vibes from this. This is not setting up a meet cute. I don't know what happened. I woke up and here I was. I'm so scared. Please help me, cried the man, as if pleading for his life. No stranger to tense situations, Detective Hada comforted the man. She used her training to calm him and buy time for the other investigators. However, time did not bring clarity, only anxiety, as the night dragged on with no progress opening the box. And as the night grew longer, the seeping rain puddling on the ground, the man inside grew more desperate, more sad and lonely, more pathetic and in need of help. But Detective Hada was no help at all. Powerless to save him, guilt began to weigh on her, like it never had before. Don't let me die in here, the man begged. Don't let me die alone. Stay calm, instructed Detective Hata. You're not alone. I'm here. Hell, half the town is here. We're all in this together once we know that we are, and we're stars, and we see the... Sorry. We won't let this be the end of your story. Looking through the narrowest of passageways, Detective Hada watched her own reflection in the tear-filled eyes of the strange, sad prisoner. Together, they both wept in silence at the hopelessness of the moment. Promise? Asked the man. Promise that I'm not alone? Yes, she promised. I do. A simple pledge. She felt an instant connection, like she had never felt before. Not to her family, not to her friends, not to any of the other hostages she had worked so hard to free before. And so, when the man's eyes closed and backed away, it didn't scare Detective Hata, for she knew he would return, and he did. Pressing his lips up to the narrow slit in this horrible puzzle box, repeating his question again, steam flowing from his mouth as he asked, Promise? Promise that I'm not alone? Yes, she promised. I do. And pressing her palms against the cold outside of the box, without truly knowing why, Detective Hada leaned forward and placed her own lips up to the opening, letting her breath creep into the strange creature, allowing her warm lips to fall onto this man's. It was a gentle kiss, a moment of compassion. She could feel in this brief contact the beating of her heart, pulsing through every inch of her body, matched beat for beat in his soft touch. Thank you, said the man, no trace of fear remaining in his voice, as he backed away into the darkness, disappearing in a single moment of eerie calmness. Get back, yelled an officer, suddenly thrusting himself between Detective Hada and the box, breaking a silence that would soon be filled by a cacophony of whirring gears and clicking lashes, a symphony of mechanical activity happening all at once. Something had triggered, as if an unseen lever pulled, and the side of the giant box began to slide open. Detective Hada gripped her flashlight tightly and pushed forward into the foggy interior of the giant box. Her feet splashed in the puddled rainwater, her heart racing as she swept her light from side to side. And that's when her eyes landed on the man, or at least landed on what should have been him. There in the corner of the box was a pile of pieces, like parts of a doll almost, pulled apart, or perhaps that's just how Detective Hata had to think of him in that moment to survive. A collection of segments, limbs, pieces, disconnected from one another, cleanly severed and placed in a neat little pile. And atop that pile, a head, cold, pale, eyes open, lips an icy blue. Spirit stares at the fire, her own expression lifeless, her lips blue. Tears fall from her chin and soak into the sand at her feet. You're blown away by the story, and it's safe to say you're not alone. Everyone else is looking into the fire up at the sky, anywhere but at Spirit. It was you who chose her, you who initiated this harrowing tale. So sad, so creepy, so sensual? She really went into great detail when it came to describing that kiss. Too much detail. And now no one is sure to act. Now no one is sure to act. I thought it was going to be like no one is sure how to act, but okay. Dwight and Claudette are staring daggers at you. You have to do something. This game was supposed to be a lighthearted romp. Please, I said do something. Let's give her a hug. You stand and without saying anything approach Spirit, reaching your arms around her for a hug. Her robe, hovering in the air, begins to wrap itself around you and squeeze you into her. It's kind of like being hugged back, but also like being tied up. I mean, if you're into that. It's certainly not what you expected. Instinctually, you pull yourself away, but it's an awkward moment and you nearly fall over into the fire. What? Spirit says nothing and floats away without so much as a goodbye. You, meanwhile, realize everyone had just watched this truly strange interaction from the corners of their eyes. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit so that they can all have a moment alone before bed. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip, plus... we've been there before. I just want to be totally clear, even though that story bore some similarities to my life, it was not about me in any way, shape, or form. Not symbolically, metaphorically, not any other-ickly. I believe you completely. Sure, you were cut into pieces in your life, and so was the person in the story. A perfectly normal coincidence. Sure, you're on this island, trapped, one might say, in a most puzzling place. Also a completely regular coincidence. And sure, his lips were blue, your lips are blue. Really? You'd call this blue? Searching for answers, hoping to find...
Revenge!
Okay, so the similarities stop there, I guess. Coincidences. Sorry, the coincidences. Get this through your head, whoever you are. Samurai blood runs through my veins. Or, well, maybe it has coagulated by now. No need to sweat the details. Regardless, I'm a descendant of noble warriors. Thousands of years of training with bladed weapons preceded my entrance into this world. Do you know how many swords that is? A lot. You've got to figure that with that many sharp edges, a person is bound to get disconnected from a body part here and there. The truth is, and I wouldn't typically share this, so don't go blabbing about it, I dreamt that story, like watching a movie in my sleep, when I was just a little girl, years before my father sunk his blade into my skin. I've never been able to shake it. That's a very adult story for a child to dream. Do you believe me? You know? Who cares? Who says I believe in anything? And for that matter, who even cares what I think? Our beliefs are our business, no one else's. Wow, I'll be. That's a strong take. You've got to cultivate your own garden. I just admire you. You're not offering up your thoughts or opinions simply to feed the curiosity of others, like some of the more desperate residents of our little paradise. Good for you, I say. Now you've got me wondering, do I believe you if you believe her or not? And if I know everything, because trust me, I do know everything, don't I already know the answer to my own questions about if I believe your answer to Spirit's question? Whoa. Ocean air got me tripping. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract us both. What's important is that a certain corpsey cutie floating in a cloud of magical mist might still be waiting for you to say the right thing and free her from her puzzle box. If you believe that she is the... Damn it! Got me going again! Unfortunately, before you can follow this conundrum to what will surely be a mind-numbing cycle of new questions, you find a certain someone standing before you with a fresh towel ready to dry you off. Sorry, kids, but it's time for bed. I might be the youngest one here, but I'm no kid. I do, however, love being wrapped up in a fresh, clean towel. Oh yeah, that's the jam. Especially right out of the dryer when it's still warm. Ooh. My mother used to help me wash my hair when I was young. She'd comb out all of the tangles and tie a ribbon around it before sending me on my way. I miss her. You watch as Spirit stares off into the distance, her hand gripping into a tight fist. She doesn't notice you're watching her at first. When she catches you looking, she turns away, roughly grabs a towel from Dwight, and then pushes him and Claudette aside as she floats off. No matter how many things you listen to, you still cannot sleep. Who am I going to summon to my side? Oh, goodness gee, what a mystery, quite a conundrum. Spirit, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. Spirit tells you her secret for falling asleep when she's feeling restless. I like to listen to flute music, dab on some essential oils, and steam my pores. No free dabs. And steam my pores. Really? What? Even the dead like to relax. I don't really have any of those things around. Oh. Spirit reaches out and presents you with a unique item. It's a small comb carved from bamboo. I guess you could hold on to this. It was a gift from my mother. I will want it back, though, and if you lose it, well, you'll get your revenge on me. If it's the last thing I do. You finally start to feel sleepy. Except, maybe I'm paralyzed. Oh no, being overtaken from the darkness. Ah! Lovely. Oh no, reality show thingy blah 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 blah. Can you blame me for not getting along with the others? I mean, I haven't had a real conversation with anyone since I was a child. I take the fact that I haven't slaughtered the newcomer for their meat yet as a win. They look pretty tasty though, so who knows what'll happen tomorrow. Hey Dwight, do we have tarragon on this island? Look, I'm always full of rage. The key is knowing how to control your rage so you can use it. I am a master of self-control, and right now I'm using all the self-control I can muster because today was a disaster. Let's just say I didn't love it. Haha, that was funny. Laugh! I said laugh, damn it! Anyway, I'm planning to kill this idiot. Don't tell them, though. I want to lead them on a little more. It will make it that much easier for me when they're screaming. I don't really care. This island is full of people who don't really like me, so what's one more? I don't want to get distracted from my plan anyways. I know that everyone thinks of me as a beautiful, cold-blooded monster. I can't help it. Circulation just isn't my thing. I don't choose to be cold. This cute hat and robe, okay, those are a choice, sure. If someone were to come around and capture my heart, at least that beats being stabbed in it. Besides, if I'm gonna get bloody revenge on a society that has used me and thrown me away, maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a little help. Everyone rolls into the dining area, wanting pancakes and bacon. Oh god, I want pancakes and bacon. I can't imagine you can make me any angrier today than what you did yesterday. Do we hear this literally every time we're not romancing Trapper? I'm pretty sure we've gotten this every single run through. No matter what, he just hates our guts, and he's constantly pissed off at us. But I really hope you do. I really, really hope you do. Unrelated, anyone see where I left my cleaver? Just kidding, it was up my butt. Well, that was bizarre. Back to your breakfast. Nope, now Huntress steps up to talk about her feelings. This island is treacherous. I don't know what the newcomer thinks they are doing here, but it certainly isn't helping any of us. Whoa, Huntress pretends to be all independent and strong woman, don't need no man. But she is secretly kind of miffed you and her aren't getting along. Well, that surely must be it. And just like that, here comes Spirit. Something's not right. Did anyone else feel especially cold last night? Not in the technically dead sense, but I don't know, some other sense? It's like, for the first time in a long time, I felt the sun yesterday, and then it went away. I didn't like it. Are we her son? Not like, like a child son, the SU. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Wraith has had enough time to work up the courage to speak in front of a group. Take us home, Wraith. I'm glad the introduction of Leah to our island paradise, and yeah, that was in quotations, didn't distract me from my normal routine, ignoring all of you and vice versa. This place is an eternal prison of suspicion and suffering, and no one cares. I'm still the only one asking any questions. I'm asking a question too. It's, when will Wraith shut up? Oh, it's Spirit. That checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know of a place where you never get harmed. A magical place. Oh, welcoming darkness to the tropical nightmare. Indoors, indoors, indoors. Best of all, I'm the only one that seems to know about it, so we won't be bothered there. Except literally everyone knows about it. I don't even know why I'm telling you, really. It's my private spot, but I guess I've got a feeling that you'll appreciate it in the way that I do. Not like these other killers. They don't get me. But I'll get them. Oh, I'll get them all. And I'll get my father, too. And
I'll punish him for what he did to my mother and me!
Spirit radiates a menacing aura, waving her sword around in the air as she threatens, well, the entire universe. It's scary and more than a little hot, if you get turned on by menacing. Look, all this time on Murderer's Island has got us both a little confused about things. I'm choosing to lean into it. I'd suggest you do the same. You've seen her get mad, which is probably enough to scare you into compliance. But you've also seen that there's a more sensitive side hiding within her. Which one do you think will win out? You consider her offer, but before you can decide if you want to go off with Spirit, the Huntress interjects. I guess you could go off with Spirit today. She seems pretty cool, actually. I think if we weren't here on this island vying against each other for your attention, we might actually be friends. We might have something, though, you and I. I couldn't let you go off to her Goth lighthouse without speaking up first. Yeah, I know her secret spot. I see everything through the holes in this adorable mask. So, my offer stands. We can still hang out today. Plenty of room in my cabin. Wink, wink. It's pretty cute that Huntress thinks she has to say wink, wink out loud. The mask barely even hides her face. Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly, because you can only go on one date today, and you also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. It's always good to remember that these are all cold-blooded killers. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And then you die a horrible, retching, writhing death after drinking it because, oh no, it was poison. This island really got me tilted, so who will it be? Spirit. I gotta go with Spirit. You've made the correct decision, but know this, just because you picked me doesn't mean I'm going to slobber all over you like a dog, understand? Well, of course, you still got a lot to prove to me. I want to believe that our connection is real, but I've been hurt before. Literally. With a katana. A katana that I now wield. In spectral form. You feel me? Because you will feel me if you try any of that macho trapper crap. Yeah, I feel you. Before you ask Claudette and Dwight to clarify, I'll just let you know that, yes, it is too late to change your answer now. Cool. You and Spirit arrive at the coast overlooking the Black Lighthouse. Ooh. We've never seen this in the daytime. It's always been at night. It's old and decrepit, but still impressive. There's something magnetic about it. You can see why Spirit would be drawn to such a place. You look Spirit up and down and notice she's wearing all black, just like the lighthouse. I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Is black your favorite color? Black isn't really a color at all. It's the absence of color. You're not wrong. It's a void. Like me. Spirit smiles. Nature abhors a vacuum. You're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The lapping waves on the shore of the coast set a romantic tone. The fog that surrounds Spirit everywhere she goes blends perfectly with the mist rolling up over the rocky shoreline. She's at one with this place, and so are you. The peace doesn't last too long, however, as the lighthouse lets out an eerie howl. Like a monster dying. A spiraling black light stretches out across the sky. Spirit has to yell at you just to be heard. Oh yeah! It does that! The light and sound recede and the two of you sit in silence. Spirit lays a towel down and then pats on it gently. Clearly, she wants your company, so you oblige. When you do, she takes out some sunscreen and hands it to you. You're not exactly sure what to do. Is this an invitation to get in a little hands-on action? What else could it be? Thanks? I mean, she's a ghost. She probably wouldn't need it, so it's probably for me. Oh, she's thinking of me and my pale little pasty mortal skin. Thanks, I forgot to bring my own when I lost my memory and fell into the ocean. No problem, I figured as much. Spirit turns away while you slather lotion all over your body. You need any help reaching those difficult spots? You see a hand float around your back. Sure, why not? Spirit's hand on your back is ice cold, but she has a soft touch. When she's done, she takes care of herself. You watch as Spirit applies sunscreen to herself in the most unique way by floating her own hand around her back to spread it on. To ask about the shards of glass? So if you don't mind, what's the deal with all those shards of glass sticking out from all over your body? Yes, let's unpack your most severe trauma right now. You really want to know? You're not creeped out by them? You're not creeped out, just nervous, because you know the answer might be very personal, but she's a person you want to get to know. I was just thinking about what you must have gone through to end up like that. It had to have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends eventually. But I wouldn't want to forget it. It literally made me who I am right now. Truth is, I could pull all of these bits of glass that are stuck in my flesh out right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to. Okay. Each shard is a reminder of what my father did to me and what the world did to him. That's why I refuse to play the universe's game. I hate the idea that I'll be forced to succumb to pressure the way he did in the end. That way, the way that fear and anger filled him up and then came bursting out, the way his misery flooded our home and drowned us all. Yeesh. It's hard not to think about revenge. The dragon inside me, it's doing to me what the world did to him. I have to fight it, even though it gives me strength. I must maintain control. You're stronger than he ever was, I'm sure of it. I appreciate that. I suppose a little help isn't a bad thing. In life, in love, this world is a lot to endure alone. Maybe I could use a little assistance reaching my delicate toes for a bit of lotion. You know, having your body contorted into these vengeful poses, it really does a number on my joints. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Okay. We're not gonna think about what this looks like. It's fine. The implications of this... No. We're not gonna worry about it. Oh, that's not horrible. Well, I suppose that the lotion made it to where it was supposed to be going eventually. And you weren't too incredibly wasteful. I'm not a woman who believes in rushing through things just to get them done. If there is a next time, I'm sure you'll do even better. You look up at the lighthouse, its ominous dark form hovering above this moment between spirit and yourself. Evil as it clearly is, in this case, it does you a solid by blurting out another ominous moan and bursts of black light that rescues you from this awkward silence. Yo-ho, a pirate's life for me? From seemingly out of nowhere, an ancient-looking ship appears in the water. It glows, itself a thing of death, a spirit of a ship that once sailed these seas centuries ago. A tattered black flag whips in the ocean air above the ship as it careens toward the shore, before crashing on the rocks. It must have been drawn in by the lighthouse. You hear the distant shouting of sailors as the old wooden ghost ship breaks up and sinks into the water. Oh, right. It does that sometimes, too. Should we, do something? Nah, the sharks will take care of it. Within a minute, the ocean is quiet again except for the waves. Note to self, hungry sharks. But these time-traveling pirates, or whoever they were, you're half sure you saw one of those skull and crossbone flags. Aren't the only ones drawn here today. It's Wraith! He has emerged from the palm trees behind you. I didn't come here to break up your date or something. I came here for, that. Wraith points to the lighthouse. It is indifferent to his attention. I've been seeing it in my dreams, shining its light on me. I can't avoid it. Through the woods and the walls, nothing seems to stop it from reaching out to me. Duh. It's a haunted lighthouse. It does that to everyone at some point. You're no more special than me, those dead pirates, or that mermaid I saw washed up on the shore that one time. You? Mermaids, by the way, aren't even close to as beautiful in person as they are in movies. More sea witch than underwater princess, if you get my drift. Drift? It's all part of a vast conspiracy, an epic river of lies that runs beneath the island. or something. I'm pretty sure I figured it out. The basics, anyhow. If you come with me, I can... You can get cut. Spirit waves her katana, nearly trimming a couple buttons off of Wraith's tropical top. He takes the hint and backs away a few steps, slowly. For the quiet guy, he never really shuts up. Okay, be that way. You'll see. Alone at last, tension broken, deathly moans quiet, and Wraith banished back to... wherever he hangs out. You scooch closer to Spirit, breathing in the damp, foggy air that seems to emanate from her. It's not quite clear how that whole fog thing works, but you don't even care. You're feeling this moment. Spirit seems to be feeling it too. She starts to adjust her robe and you get a peek at the bathing suit beneath. I mean, we can always see it, but okay. For someone who seems intent on proving how little she cares about what everyone else thinks, she put a lot of work into getting into that suit. It's got straps for days. However, you're so focused on what's happening with Spirit, you don't see the next interruption coming. And Claudette and Dwight burst in on you and interrupt whatever you were doing. It doesn't seem like they were worried they'd bump into much.
We're here to make...
A very dramatic announcement.
Well, technically, we're here to invite you to join us back at the beach.
Where we'll be making a very dramatic announcement.
It's hard being the producers and the hosts.
Aren't survivors supposed to work in groups of 4? Fair. When you arrive at the beach, you realize you are being set up. Oh no! There is no announcement. It's someone trying to steal us away from our loved one. But there is a me.
You got mud in your ears, friend. I told you to get lost.
Don't you see? Lost is what I am. But so are you. But I know a way out. I've got a map back in my secret lair, literally and figuratively. Yeah, I know the difference. That's why you should ditch Spirit and come spend the rest of the night with me instead. You've got a secret lair? Damn it. Who said anything about a secret lair? I said I've got, sap. Sap in my secret hair. There's a flap on my secret chair. The cap and the flare. Don't change the subject. Don't ask me what he's talking about. You're trying to make a mess of the first nice day I've had in I don't know how long because it's not even clear what year it is, but in a while. I'm not about to be ditched for the likes of you. It's not me messing things up like I keep trying to tell you. It's this dang island. I've come to accept a difficult truth. What's happening here, well, I'm convinced that it's our fate. It's not anyone's decision. It's simply the way it will be. There's no use fighting it. What would you even know about fighting? All you know is hiding in your spooky little secret hair and crying like a baby while ringing your little bell. Don't tell me what I can and can't fight back against. I was born a fighter. A dragon lives inside me. I can't not fight, even when all I might want to do is hide. Don't you see this giant hat? It's a metaphor. If I do have a fate, my fate is to win every fight that comes my way. Got it? Folks. Oh, you hide. I've seen you hide. You and your phase walking routine. What do you call that? It's basically cloaking. And we all know that cloaking is a type of hiding. Folks. You cloak. I don't cloak. I'm not a cloaker. I phase walk out in the open. You just can't see me. I have no idea what they're talking about, but this sure sounds like some video game community forum thread minutia, if there ever was such a thing. Not that you know about that either. It sure doesn't seem like Dwight and Claudette are going to stop this, so it's on you. Ahem. I think I was brought here to make this choice. So I'm going to do that now. And I choose... Gee, I wonder... Spirit. When it comes down to it, neither of these two seem easy to love. I mean, damn, Spirit literally has broken glass shards sticking out of her, but she has a certain charm to her gloom. Spirit and I were actually having a nice time. Besides, if it's my fate to end up on this island, well, to hell with fate, really. And don't take this the wrong way, Wraith, but the amount of awkwardness you pack into a single day, no wonder you're so skinny. All that second-guessing yourself must burn a lot of calories. Ouch. No offense taken. Yeah, okay, it's true. I can be a little awkward, I guess. Sometimes. Right. So, I'm going to stick with Spirit. Spirit breathed a sigh of relief. I've got enough revenging to do without having to kill you and Wraith, too. Lovely. Spirit walks you around a corner to show you something that she discovered in this place and knew was meant to be connected with her journey. A cherry tree. It's just a small sapling, but has begun to sprout flowers. It doesn't make sense to see a cherry tree here in this place. It also doesn't make sense to see a ghost in a black bathing suit, so you just accept it. As Spirit steps up to the tree, a cold breeze pulls some petals off, and they come cascading through the air and around the both of you. Oh, look at that! Oh, that's so pretty! Do you know the meaning of the cherry blossom? They're beautiful, but also quite symbolic. Of course, like all good symbols, their meaning is pretty complicated. What do they mean to you? For many people, being among cherry blossoms is like being at a celebration of life. People travel great distances just to be near their vibrant beauty. However, as beautiful as they might be, they aren't magical. They're simply flowers. They quickly die and fade away, and for this reason, they are also a symbol of the fleeting nature of life, of our fragile mortality. In a way, it's the specter of looming death that calls attention to this special moment to see and appreciate life. How does that duality make you feel? I am pretty darn frustrated. As you look at the tree and consider Spirit's question, you reflect on your own current predicament. Stranded here, no understanding of why, no control. The beauty of this island, the attention of such an interesting companion, it should bring you joy, but it comes at the price of being completely confused and hopeless. You look down and see a crumbling cherry blossom on the ground at your feet. As you stare at it, something begins to rage inside you, like a dragon. How can anyone find comfort, even for a moment, with death and decay looming on the horizon? It makes me so frustrated. It makes me so mad. I want to do something about it. I want to strike back against this shitty reality. Spirit lets you go off, staying calm despite your bubbling rage. She must know thoughts like this. Is that why she asked you? So that you'd see things from her point of view? I want to be alive! It's pretty. You feel connected to her at this moment more than you have at any point before. You wonder, does she feel the same? Once the fallen cherry blossoms represented the souls of samurai warriors, those with noble characters, those who did not fear death, those who were killed in the greatest sacrifice to honor their emperor. Their lives were short, but their purpose gave them beauty. Those warriors saw death coming, but they never despaired. They stood and faced it. They held their swords and struck down their fear. But despite the samurai spirit that lives on in me, in my noble bloodline, my life has ended, but my death continues to stretch on. The cycle is frozen. This cherry tree, It's not real. Though the petals fall, they soon replenish. It's as if it were installed here by someone. You watch as Spirit chooses her words very carefully. By something with no respect for the balance of life and death.
We're sorry to interrupt.
You know we don't believe you, right?
Yep.
But this time, we've got a really good reason. It has nothing to do with being manipulated by an unseen force, because that's definitely not happening. Nobody accused you of that? It's time for dinner. I guess it's time to go, or whatever. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I enjoyed it. Me too. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No, you really are feeling this whole romantic experience. But don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. Enough gentle ribbing, unless you're into it. All the singles are here, including Trickster. Yep. Congrats, by the way. Yeah. I'm sick of watching everyone else gorge themselves while I'm preoccupied with, trying to get to the bottom of this never-ending nightmare. So tonight, none of that. I'm not really hungry anyway. So I say we just do a simple salad or something. The green kind, not the mayo kind. Mayo is gross. Wow, Wraith. I never liked you anyway. Not that I like mayo salad either, but it is a pretty substantial condiment, like on burgers, in other things probably. Not iceberg though. It has no nutritional value. Letting Wraith choose was a mistake. That's on all of us.
Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day.
Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You had an interesting day, that's for sure, but how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little, and it could affect your standing with the group. Well, I don't give a shit about the group. I'm gonna be coy. It wasn't really a date, more like two people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone, but doing it in a relatively close proximity to each other. That's exactly right. Couldn't have not said anything of better value myself. Okay, that one took me a second. Spirit is clearly happy with the way you portrayed your date. No surprise. She doesn't like people getting into her business. You take a seat on a comfortable log, wondering who will tell a story this time. Oh, I wonder! It's such a mystery. I'll tell a story. Sure, I'm game to tell a story. We're gonna tell a romance story, just like our Goyle Spirit. I'll tell a romantic story. About two lovers who take poison together and die foaming at the mouth? Or about two strong hunters who meet when they both try to bludgeon the same wily Wolverine? Not quite. It's about my parents. They met at a party in college. He was hosting. She'd been dragged there by some friends. They couldn't have been more different, and yet as the night went on, they were drawn to each other. She made fun of his taste in music, and he took an interest in her major, women's studies. They were married within 2 months. Bit soon to know if you can trust someone, don't you think? It's so sweet. Exactly. I learned a lot about love from them. If you know, you know. Some people don't need years to get acquainted with their partner. Love could spark from a mere look across a campfire. Now you've got their attention. Each killer's furiously attempting to catch your eye from across the fire pit. Except for Trickster, who has wandered over to the bar. Yeah. Who else would you like to hear a story from? Spirit! I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but anything I say is sure to be better than whatever you get out of anyone else in this group. Like all good stories, I stole this from someone in the past who is dead now and can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride. Technically, I suppose, the fiancé.
One winter, a young couple decided that the next spring they would be married. The two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt so they could join in matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Per the latest bridal trends, they decided to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful shabby chic farmhouse. Together, they spent months planning the details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figured out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. They chose Lilikoi, by the way. So fancy.
I may have mispronounced that. Yeah, I'm doing my best.
When it came time to figure out the decorations, however, the bride, the fiancée, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, her boyfriend had been wearing cargo shorts and open-toe sandals for pretty much their entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. Having decided on such a lovely natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancée decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surrounded the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on the first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day she spent hours mapping where the best blooms could be found and prepared to pick them herself the morning of the wedding so that they'd be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods, she surveyed the bride. The fiancé, since they had not yet been married, became obsessed with knowing just how many there were so that she could choose the absolute best. The fateful morning of her big day finally came. The fiancée told her husband-to-be that she had one final errand before the wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in her beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers.
Oh, bestie, that's your first mistake. Putting on your dress before you go into the woods, huh?
Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came upon a once familiar clearing, something was not as she expected. Somehow, it was more beautiful now than it had ever been before, and just on the edge of her view was a new bush filled with blossoms so vibrant, so colorful. She became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower. And every time she did, she noticed just further ahead, impossibly even more beautiful blossoms. Carried by the sweet fragrance of the spring air, the fiancé, crept farther and farther into the woods until she turned a corner, stepped over a mossy fallen tree trunk, and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least not how she remembered it. The flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying, falling from their stems into festering, moldy piles on the floor. Where bees had been, now only flies buzzed. Where the scene of flowers had once intoxicated her, the odor of mildew now made her sick. She turned and looked back, but the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen she walked and walked and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancé was nowhere to be seen. Her friends, her family, and love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest, but there were no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wandering, looking for fresher blooms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are, out there all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad, just like someone we know. Gee, I wonder who I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Spirit. Oh, you picked me. Yay. Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise phoniness, so I should be honest with you. You make for interesting company, and I love the idea of winning over these other killers at all costs, even when I hate the game and the prize. But I had a long day. Floating, subverting expectations, grinding my teeth as I imagine sweet, sweet revenge. It takes a lot out of me. So don't stop bringing your A game, alright? It might seem like I hate everything, and getting to really know who I am is an impossible task not worth trying, but too bad. You won't know unless you search deep inside yourself and bring everything you've got. Or just say the exact right thing at the right time and melt my cold heart in an instant. I don't know the rules here any better than you do. See you at the bar, I guess. You arrive at the bar to find Dwight and Claudette both holding cocktail shakers surrounded by a bevy of bottles for assorted boozes. Who's ready to get wasted? As you know, I don't drink, so not me. Unless you mean wasted, as in killed, in which case, and Dad, if you are out there somewhere, I will find you and waste you for what you've done to me. You really don't drink? Ever? Is that a because it will fall out a hole in your stomach thing, or... I don't drink alcohol because alcohol is poison of the body and the mind, and I don't need to act like a fool to have a good time thing. She's so right, and I definitely didn't put peach mango vodka in this here. Totally didn't. I'm above the poison of the mind and the body. Certainly. And then why did you choose a mixology lesson as your romantic nighttime activity? Everyone knows this kind of date is just an excuse to get loaded up on booze and make terrible decisions. It's true. Not a single person has ever learned anything in one of these things. Dwight, now that's not true. You learned how to tie a cherry knot in a stem using only your tongue. Whoa, who ordered the soda with a splash of my private business? Because that's off menu. Well, I know what I'm drinking to forget tonight. Mixology is a real thing, and it doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. I'll have you all know that I worked at a restaurant before I was violently executed. By your father? On whom you will have your bloody vengeance. Right. Well, so be it. How about you? Do you drink? I will follow her lead and choose to stay sober. I've got the impression that tonight will be a night I want to remember perfectly. So I'm gonna pass on the alcoholic drinks. Here. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, it's not like sober people can't have fun. I mean, that is fair and valid. Whatever reason people don't want to drink is their business. And those who partake, as long as they do so responsibly, that's their business. You watch a spirit picks up a plump cherry and roughly stabs a little plastic sword through it. Cherry juice splatters everywhere, and its little fruity guts plop out onto Spirit's lap. Whoopsie! One of the upsides of wearing black, it hardly shows stains. No take-backsies. So, lovebirds, what drink shall we make? Dark and stormy. That sounds exactly up Spirit's alley. How about a dark and stormy drink from my dark and stormy date? Okay, that one is cute. Please allow us to demonstrate how a dark and stormy is made. First, rum, or in this case, rum extract and a bit of apple juice is poured over ice. And then fresh ginger beer is added in. Garnish with a lime wheel. And drink the end. Do you think you're up to the challenge of replicating this recipe? Replicating rum substitute and ginger beer over ice?
And don't forget the lime wheel! Yes, the lime wheel is very important. Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice with a lime wheel. Not sure I appreciate your tone, but yes, you got it. You're a natural. A sassy natural. You and Dwight might have more in common than... No! Don't you dare! Spirit seems to be in a lovely mood as she sips her dark and stormy. She's not even rolling her eyes at your petty behavior. On cue, a literal dark storm begins to make its way from the ocean. You taste your own dark and stormy as you watch the clouds approach. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I got here. And since you picked a simple but delicious drink, we've got plenty of time left to relax. Want to make out a little?
Who's your mommy?
Oh. You breathe in a sip of your drink and immediately begin coughing. Before you can get a yes out, lightning strikes a palm tree on the beach and it immediately starts to fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claudette and Dwight usher the two of you away from the bar. God damn it, cocked blocked by Mother Nature. Well, unfortunately, the only one we have yet to eliminate in any of these playthroughs, and because I want the achievement, is our Bing Bong Boy, Wraith. Look, I'm here and I'm horny, and I'm not really getting positive reinforcement from you, Wraithy Poo! Wraithy Poo? Did Seth write this dialogue? Please don't take this personally. It's just my opinion of you and who you are and what you're about deep down as a person and how I don't like it. Like, give me something, you know? A kiss, a wink, hold my hand, finish telling me about all this mysterious stuff you're obsessed with. Or better yet, dance. Wraith rises, taller than you've ever seen him, and calmly walks to the exit. Before he leaves, he turns to you. When you came here, I thought perhaps you would be different. I don't know how my last bit of hope in humanity hadn't been snuffed out, but it wasn't. It is now. You are just like the rest of them. There is no hope of goodness here. I take it back. I take it back. Can we send Trapper home instead? Can we take it back? The only thing I can do is try to escape. Or burn everything and everyone to the ground. He leaves. Pretty badass exit, was not expecting that. What a crazy way to end the day! An elimination. I didn't even know this was that type of game. Ooh. We'll see how things go tomorrow, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything. I tend to shut my mind off during hard times. Gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times. Gonna take you down and laugh when you cry at these lives. I know I seem all excited and devil may care, but the truth is I'm really pessimistic at heart. Hard times. Hard times. Well, that tends to happen when your mother skewered by an elk when you were young. Yeah, how'd you know? Wild guess. It's also the only thing you ever talk about. If you'll excuse me, I think I saw a raccoon over on that tree and I'm feeling peckish. I know I said some things when Leah kicked me to the curb and, I just want to say I'm embarrassed for how I acted. Not what I said, though. I stand by it. I want everyone here to burn. How would I say things are going? It's a matter of perspective. If Leah's goal is to impress me, things are going poorly. But if Leah's goal is to get themselves killed, they're doing an amazing job. Of course Leah's into me. Why wouldn't they be? I mean, literally, she is exactly right. She was going to be my first pick. I'm thoughtful, beautiful, surrounded by a calming mist. I've also got great hair. And since I'm technically dead, I'm extremely low maintenance. Look, I don't like to throw the term anime waifu around too often. But if the body pillow fits, snuggle it. You know what I mean? New spirit nickname confirmed. Anime waifu confirmed. It is canon now. No, you're not part of this. You don't get a confessional. Make your way over to the row of hotties. Gotta do the thingy thing. Yes. Give me the flowers so I can hand them off to Spirit, please. La-da-da-dee. Oh, imagine if I clicked on the wrong one by accident. You approach Spirit, peering below the brim of her impressively large head and into her haunting eyes. Spirit, since I met you, I've been enchanted by your presence. You've challenged me to be a better person and resisted the urge to show me the sharp end of your katana. For that, I thank you. I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level. And we shall, up to the eye of the dark storm that is our reality, to the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. It's time to see what you're made of. Ooh. I thought it might be nice to start the day out on Trapper's yacht before we head up to the Black Lighthouse. Everybody steals Trapper's yacht! Even if I kinda hate this basic tropical vacation stuff like yachts and snorkeling or whatever, it's good for you to see me in the sun a little bit at least. There's more to me than what you've already gotten to experience. I know that my whole vibe can be a little dark. The hat, the swimsuit, the plume of floating hair. This wasn't always who I was. I was a normal young woman once. I went to school, hung out with friends. I even had a part-time job working at a restaurant in town. And then, well, I know what happened. Your father, he murdered me and I awoke as an undead avenger. That's not what I was getting at. Something else happened to me. I realized I needed to be seen. I don't even know by whom. A lot of time when you think about ghosts, they're these kind of see-through flickering specters. You imagine reaching out and having your hand go right through them. Ooh, like that sort of thing. Maybe there's some warpy effect on the world around you. I don't know. Depends on which movie you're watching. But when I died, well, I dare you to try to reach your hand through me. Not really. That's not an invitation. It's rhetorical. Oh, damn it. I kind of wanted to try it. Why did I end up this way? Who brought me here to this island? Who knows? I sure don't. I've got my ideas. Maybe what happened, if I'm being honest, maybe I was granted a wish. Maybe this is me finally being something to someone. Something scary. Something violent. Something feared. But without a doubt, something. Maybe whoever or whatever did this to me thought they were doing me a favor. And maybe, last maybe coming up, I promise, maybe they were right. Maybe, oh look, now you've got me doing it. Maybe they brought me to you. Something certainly brought us together. Oh, it's so cheesy. I love it. But I'm not exactly out there digging around in caves or dusting off antiques and trying to find clues and analyze their meanings. I do want to take this experience seriously, though. I want to give the process a chance. It may be a dumb process and one that I have extremely little respect for as a person. But you just woke up on this beach with no memory of who you are or where you came from. And rather than freak out and simply try and swim away, you're giving this a chance. I actually didn't know that swimming away was an option. It's not. However, the fact that you never even tried, I think that means you've got courage. Or an open mind. Or, I don't know, maybe you stuck around because you like someone you met here. Maybe. While the two of you were getting all deep and philosophically flirty, the yacht pulled up to the shore next to the Black Lighthouse. Last stop, everybody off. There were other stops? Oh no, not of this trip, of your life. Spirit rolls her eyes and leaves for the shore. I'm just messing with you. This was the only stop. Nobody here is really looking out for our fun, so we have to make it for ourselves. But no, there are no other stops. Seriously, go. Race you to the poop deck, Dwight. And this chick doesn't even have a poop deck. Oh, it will. Gross. As you disembark, you see Dwight and Claudette run giggling across the ship. Too bad you can't date those two. They seem like they know how to have a good time. Oh no, thank God I can't date them. I've been miserable. You arrive at the beach near the majestic black lighthouse. Its imposing form towers above you. A flock of birds circles lazily, no sense of fear or urgency, as if circling a corpse that hasn't moved in ages. Probably are. I'm excited about today. See? Spirit places her wrist delicately in your hand and presses your fingers down against her skin. It's cool to the touch, but you feel... Is that the faintest of pulses? My blood is absolutely pumping. So what happens now? Now I show you something that no one has ever seen up close before. Well, no one who has lived to tell about it. We're going there. Spirit points to the top of the lighthouse amongst the circling birds. What's actually up there? Have you seen it? Wraith, goddammit, I sent you home. Hey y'all, how's everyone doing today? Certainly seems to be taking the whole elimination thing well, or maybe this is the opposite of that. Better not bring it up at all and just hope he doesn't completely melt down. Hi, Wraith. You sure seem chipper today. Something strange is definitely going on with this guy. Well, something else strange. Something different than what's usually going on. Wraith takes a deep breath, sucking in the ocean air like it's the greatest air that has ever been sucked. Thank you. Thank you for choosing anyone else to go on a date with today. Alone, again, forever. This is how I was meant to be. I feel alive. Are you done? We're kind of, on that date you just mentioned. I'm glad you're feeling better, Wraith, but like she said, we're in the middle of something. You mind? Oh, right. So, what you doing? Heading up to the eye of the lighthouse? I love it up there. You can really see the whole island from up there. In fact, Spirit, I thought you said no one has been up there and lived to tell about it, but this sounds exactly like telling about it. Technically, I don't think Wraith counts as being alive. I mean, I don't maintain the canon, but... that's fair. Spirit waves her arms at Wraith from head to toe. And if he's not dead now, he's
gonna be when I punish him for interrupting our date!
Hey, now, we can solve our problems without our hair floating up into any menacing shapes. I'll just be over here, running away, enjoying the view. I think Wraith was kidding about that whole being up there. Honestly, the view isn't even of the island. What you can see is mostly ocean on account of it being, a lighthouse. However, that does bring up an interesting point. Regarding your... how do I say it? The Spirit's hand floats up as she scratches her head contemplatively. You don't usually see her at a loss for words like this. What's your mortal status? Because despite what our lanky friend seems to think, the lighthouse is not to be trifled with. It's a beacon of death and suffering that brings doom to it from all corners of this world, if not further. Well, duh. You saw a freaking pirate ship seemingly travel through space and time only to crumble at the rocks beneath the spooky tower. But you decide not to point it out because that wouldn't be too romantic, now would it? I think I'm alive? I'm here with you, walking this beach, feeling the water on my feet, feeling the sun on my skin. Here, with me, the spirit. Does that really make you alive? I guess I don't know. If you come up with me into the eye of the Black Lighthouse, you may never return. Is that a risk you're willing to take? Because we have something. I won't deny it. I feel it. I'd hate for you to simply turn to ash. If we were to commit right here and now to figuring this out as friends, we could put that risk off for another time. Just be friends? Ouch. Is this our way of letting you down easy? I don't know if I want that friendship. I want you. That's why I chose you. I can't decide this for you. I can only warn you that it may not be safe. You might die up there and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, we'll go up. Maybe die. But maybe not. You take a deep breath and think about every particle of sea air as it travels into your body and fills your lungs. It may be the last time you have such a thought, but you feel strangely at peace with that information. I don't need another friend. I want something more. I'd risk my life for it. Spirit smiles a quirky, devilish smile. Right this way. Beach. Inside the lighthouse is almost pitch black. It was seemingly day when you stepped through the door, but inside this place is like a void. The last thing you see as the final rays of sun leave you is a horrible sight. A petrified body laying on the stairs, reaching not up, but down, as if it had been crawling. Watch your step! The things we do for love. Oh, it is actually nighttime. When you arrive in the lantern room at the top of the Black Lighthouse, you breathe a sigh of relief. The light is out and seemingly defunct. Dust cakes the room, as though it hasn't been operated in a century. However, somehow, it was just morning a moment ago, but now it's night? What do you mean, a moment ago? We've been standing here looking out over the ocean all day. I've really enjoyed the peaceful time together with you, taking in the view, standing in complete silence for hours. It was kind of my perfect date. Really? I don't remember that. I just called it the perfect date and you can't be bothered to remember it. What kind of game are you playing with me? I want to remember it. It's just that for some reason my mind is completely blank. But hey, I'm not dead. Or you're already dead and have been this whole time. That's true. Maybe we'll never know. It doesn't look like the light is working. Even turned off, the light has a power to it. The massive lens refracts moonlight through itself, a subtle sparkle that has a hypnotic effect. Maybe that's where the day went. Staring into this light as the sun fell and the moon rose. Thanks for spending the day with me. I really had a good time. Wait, did the day already pass? Really? That's it? Don't get me wrong, this is really cool and all. I guess I don't know what I expected. I suppose if you thought you were walking into your death and nothing happened, it might feel a bit anticlimactic. Sorry. Anyhow, it's time to go. Here, let me just flip on the light for the staircase so it's easier to get down. The stairs still look pretty dark. Maybe it... Spirit is interrupted by a strange hum, and then it becomes frighteningly clear to you that switch wasn't for the stairs, it was for the main lantern. A lantern that is now beginning to power up! The faintest smell of burning begins to reach up to your nose. Oopsie, it looks like maybe that switch wasn't for the stair lights after all. Now we see who is really alive and who is really dead, I suppose. It was bound to happen sooner or later. You slam your eyes closed, hoping that somehow not looking at the light itself will protect you. Not sure I see the logic in that, but if it is magic, it kinda defies logic. I want to see it, but, well, I'm a little scared. Don't look directly into the light. Open your eyes and look only at me, and I'll keep you safe. Oh, this is a mini game. Cool. Oh, I want to be perfect on this. Perfect. Huh. Ooh! Ah! Huh. Oh, not bad. Are you okay? You seem okay. I hope I haven't ruined this by pushing you to do something you weren't meant to do. You're so brave. Maybe not so coordinated, but certainly brave. Thank you. I'm so lucky you'd put yourself through this for me. It shows that you're real. Despite your attempt to resist it, the incredible force of energy from the Black Lighthouse's lantern... Huh? I'm sorry, my brain just went... Reading is hard. Despite your attempt to resist it, the incredible force of energy from the Black Lighthouse's lantern eye refuses to subside. No, it cannot be ignored. And it doesn't matter if you look directly at it or not. In the end, that was just a trivial game. This is real life and real magic. You stare at it now, and its power penetrates your mind.
Hey, been a while. How are things? Doing good? Feeling more dead? Or more alive? Yeah, love will do that to a person. Don't worry, it'll make sense soon.
Yeah, we're in Trapper's Cave. This is definitely Trapper's Cave. You wake to hear Spirit's muffled voice. You've got a terrible taste in your mouth, like burnt hair. The air feels damp and smells like ash. It takes time for the sound to clear up, but eventually Spirit's words start to make sense to you. However, it's clear she's talking to someone else, not you. Is Trapper all angry because we in his personal space? You know how sometimes people say, it's not you, it's me? Well, this time, it is you. And it's also me. I can't believe I thought you would change for me. I can't believe I thought what you were doing was a sacrifice. You never gave anything up for me. Well, today I saw what love looks like, and it looks a whole lot different than this. Whoa, wait a minute. So she and Trapper, they hate each other. Oh, that makes sense now if they're exes. I don't think you're hearing me, which is weird because I'm practically shouting. Nobody breaks up with Trapper. Nobody. Oh yeah, fine. Nobody breaks up with Trapper. But I'm not doing that. I'm dumping. Don't you say it. I'm dumping Evan McMillan, and there's nothing you or he can do about it. It's over between us, Evan. So this whole time, she and Trapper have been together? Rin, Trapper turns from Spirit and looks directly at you. You realize you're laying on the ground of some weird tunnel. I think that your shouting woke up Leah. My shouting? Let's say something. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted something very personal and also quite scary. I swear I wasn't trying to listen in, but I heard a lot. Probably not everything. I think I woke up in the middle. What did you hear? Just you dumping Trapper? We were never together. But we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever. Anyway, we were never together. I mean, we were together. Wink, wink, wink. I know you're wearing a mask, but we can see your eyes. You don't need to say wink, wink, wink out loud.
Another reason why I'm right to have dumped you. You did not! It was mutual! The jig is, as they say, up. They know you're awake now, and you're going to have to deal with this awkward situation head on. Clearly, I shouldn't be here. You two are having a very personal conversation that I don't need to be involved in. I don't even know how I got here, not here on this island, or here in this creepy tunnel. As far as this island goes, your guess is as good as mine. As far as this tunnel goes, we brought you here. We, you and Trapper, but after the lighthouse light came on, you blacked out. On your way down, I thought you must have hit your head or something. It's hard to tell what blood is new or old around here. Either way, I wanted to get you someplace safe, so I asked Trapper for help. It's not that I can't carry you, I just didn't feel like it, you know? I hate anything messing with my shards. Trapper, on the other hand, he loves nothing more than having an unconscious body draped over his shoulder. I could have asked Claudette and Dwight for help, but I don't trust them. You trust Trapper? Like and trust are two different things. You might think Trapper can be a real jerk, and you'd be right. But you get what you see with him. I mean fair. We brought you down here because we're the only ones who know about this place. It's part of an old tunnel network that connects different places on the island. Oh, Wraith! What's up, guys? Talking Island Mysteries? My favorite topic. I was just in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd pop in. Trapper, you said this place was private. Don't look at me, I didn't tell him about it. Half of the appeal of this spot was getting away from people like him. Well, geez, I can see when I'm not wanted. So, you three a throuple now, or? Because I gotta say, I really didn't get the whole Trapper spirit thing, but hey, if it's not my business, I don't stick my nose in it. We were not a thing. Nobody traps the Trapper. Not with traps or with relationships. And you do realize you're sticking your nose in our business right now, right? Wow, so hostile. If you don't want to talk about it, just say so. Anyhow, this tunnel has some very interesting features. If you head about 50 meters down that way, you'll find... Get out! Wraith looks around just to be doubly sure that Trapper is addressing him. I was just leaving. This island, it's a lonely place, which is great for me. I love to be alone. Trapper, on the other hand, he's quite needy. And after a lot of pursuit, I finally let him catch up to me. And it became, well, I don't want to call it a relationship, because somebody really didn't want to have that talk. But we were more than friends. I dispute the events as told. For the record, I don't pursue. I stalk and I lie in wait. Seeing eye to eye was not one of the things we were good at. So, I hate to ask, but I did just look into a refrigerator-sized death lamp, so I guess I'm more of a glutton for punishment than I thought. What were you good at? Well, for starters, excuse me, I'll take that question. Thank you very much. If you know anything about me by now, it's that I'm on a quest for revenge. Exactly. What you might not know, Trapper is like a great classical maestro of revenge. Trapper blushes behind the mask. That's one way to compliment a killer. Revenge against friends who had turned their back and betrayed him. Revenge against his father for making him into a monster. Revenge against a barista who wrote Ewan on his cappuccino, knowing his name was actually Evan. Ewan? Ewan? Whatever. For someone who thinks about revenge as much as I do, Trapper is an inspiration. But they say to never date your heroes. Good advice, but I don't think that's the saying. And then you came along. You showed me that it's okay to be lost, to feel pathetic, to push on when you have nothing real to offer anyone. I'm not sure where you got all that from, but okay. You held a mirror up to my own doubts and fears and showed me that they aren't everything about me, that I can embrace those things but not be defined by them. You showed me that life after death can be more than just an obsession with revenge and mind-blowing sex on the ground in a dark cave or dusty old tunnel. Trapper nudges you in the ribs with his elbow. Gross. Clearly appealing to Trapper's better features has been a winning strategy for dumping his ass, because he seems to be taking it quite well. This whole half-assed dating show parody thing. At first I obviously thought it was a lame idea. What kind of moron thought there was an audience for this? But then we spent some time together, and I realized... This game's really perceiving me. There's something actually real here. And I don't want to give up on it. I don't want to give up on us. Listen, while you were knocked unconscious by some minor head trauma like a total weakling, Spirit confided in me that she has real feelings for you. I took it extremely well, naturally, because I trust her and value her opinions. That doesn't mean I trust you. If you want to get to her, you have to get through me first. Oh. He's such a big, soft teddy bear. Bypassing Trapper's Test trademark. Coming to Behavior TV, Sundays at 8 p.m. Welcome to Trapper's Test. Answer my questions correctly or die by my blade. Okay. Question 1. What is Spirit's real name? The one given to her by her murderous father, which she only lets her real friends call her. Easy. Rin Yamaoka. Okay, you got that one. Don't celebrate yet. Question 2. What lives inside Spirit? A dragon. We've been over this. Literally, you could only get these wrong if you haven't been paying attention. Sure, everyone knows that. They won't all be this easy. Question 3. Where did Spirit work back when she was a normal college girl before she was hell-bent on revenge? A restaurant, boy. I know, to think I would date a waitress. Don't tell my father I ever mingled with the help like that. He'd be so disappointed in me. Question 4. What's Spirit's favorite color? Black, duh. Are these questions largely superficial? Sure. Maybe I didn't get to know Spirit all that well. Maybe that's why she dumped... Maybe that's why it didn't work out for us. Who knows? Question 5, the final question. You got this. According to Spirit, what's worse than being dead? Not being seen for who you are. When I pitched Trapper's Test to the suits at Behavior TV, they told me there was no room in the budget for a new car to be given as a final prize for winning. So I killed them all right there on the spot. While killing them didn't solve any of the budget problems, it sure did feel good. I'm telling you this A, to brag, and B, to explain why the only thing you're going to win is me saying, "Congratulations for passing Trapper's Test!" Not that it was some huge challenge. I mean, the woman obsessed with the giant light that shines in the dark has a chip on her shoulder about being seen? Go figure. You probably guessed, but rules are rules even if I literally just made them up. You got it right! So I guess I approve of you dating Spirit or whatever. I never actually cared in the first place. I was just hoping you'd slip up and give me an excuse to wet my blade with your blood. Maybe I'll find a reason tomorrow. For now, you two have fun. Wink, wink, wink. Trapper out! I'm sorry you had to endure that. What, 5 measly questions? It was nothing. Not even that. As ridiculous and unnecessary as it was, the whole thing. The waking up in a random tunnel, the overhearing our argument, the news that Trapper and I had something going on, and the stupid quiz. All of it, especially the whole Trapper out catchphrase. It's only because I actually like you. None of it would have happened if I didn't. And I like you too, Spirit. Please, call me Rin. Rin. I didn't really feel like our lighthouse experience was completed. There was something else I wanted to show you. Is it titties? I hope it's titties. Alone up in the lantern... Alone up in the lantern room of the tower. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not that kind of game. Aw. What's that? Hold on a moment. I'm being told no, wait. It is that kind of game. Disregard the gutter comment. Hell yeah! Come back up there with me. There's no place I'd rather be. Oops. Wrong button. I meant to do. Oh, hell yeah. You're excited to return to the lantern room of this lighthouse despite You're excited to return to the lantern room of this lighthouse despite all of the drama and worry that was previously part of this place for you. More importantly, you're excited to be there with Spirit, which makes it all the more crushing when you're interrupted by the arrival of Claudette and Dwight.
So you have chosen death.
Kill them both. Kill them both. Kill them both. Claudette, Dwight, funny seeing you here. Wait, did I say funny? I meant tragic. Tragic? I don't think so. What could be tragic about a family reunion? Those are always joyous occasions in my experience. Before they can explain what that's even supposed to mean, the lighthouse begins to howl a low, frightening sound. That's right. All stories seem to have some type of, like, family reunion. The lens begins to glow in a now familiar way. You prepare to shield your eyes in case something bad happens to you again. Now isn't the time for any reality show adjacent shenanigans. Dwight, Claudette, shield your eyes! We don't know what the lighthouse will... Now, please don't interrupt. You'd think after all this time, you'd know that we've got your best interests in mind. Do you? Wait, what? No, of course I don't think that. Got wax in your ears, friend. I asked you not to interrupt. Too late. The black light flares. In the darkness, you see something horrible and strange. In the place of Claudette and Dwight are two ghoulish silhouettes. But before you can focus on them, the light passes and the two survivors have returned to their normal states. It's breezy up here. I should have packed a sweater. What in the hairy hell? Hey, watch the language. You shouldn't speak that way. Around your elders? Grandpa? Huh? What? What? The Oni is Rin's grandpa? Oh yeah, smack me with that big stick, Daddy. My little Rin, you're such a woman now. They grow up so fast. What? Aliyah, meet Grandpa Kazanyama Oka. Well, technically not just Grandpa. Technically, he's my great-great-great-great-great-grandpa. But that's a lot of greats to say in a row. Listen, okay, I don't pay that much attention to the lore, and the canon, and all that. I just wanna run from killers and or possibly fall on the hook for the friendly ones. Listen, it's fine, okay? I haven't seen my little Rin since I watched over her from the afterlife when she was just a little girl. And I expect you to
you all to say the greats. It's a matter of honor and respect. Except Rin, she can do whatever she wants, my precious little angel. But you... Oni stares at you with his demonic red eyes. You're pretty sure even the decorative third eye in his mask is glowing at you. You mongrel. You must treat me with respect, or so help me, I'll be cleaning bits of your head off my cannabo.
A cannabo is like a metal baseball bat covered in spikes, FYI.
I'm not sure what a peasant like you is doing so close to a descendant of the noble Yamaoka bloodline in the first place. Dirk, Claudine, explain what's going on to me.
It's Dwight, sir, and Claudette. Remember, we explained to you that you were going to come meet with your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter suitor to give or withhold your approval.
5 greats! Great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, sir, your honor, master, sir.
Dwight, he's a samurai, not a judge. Grandpa, they must have summoned you here because they think you have great judgment. And because if they summoned my father, I would be too distracted by torturing him for all of eternity to continue with the rest of whatever this is. Show, game, experience.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. Only a man of my own power and magnitude can help. Self-important much? Nice to meet you, Kazan. Only my friends and family call me Kazan. Those who tremble in fear at my presence call me Oni.
You're seeing a serious resemblance to Trapper, and not only the sheer size of the man that Oni is, but also his attitude. Apparently, Spirit has a type. You sure you can, or want to, measure up to that? It dawns on you that, wait a second, maybe you do resemble Oni. Every time you've tried to look at your own reflection, however, you've become dizzy and confused. This definitely deserves more thought, but now's not the time to consider the fact that you might be some kind of hulking vampire with the first ever case of self-blindness. There's a massive samurai mad-dogging at you from 2 steps away. Well, you don't scare me at all, so I'll stick with Kazan. Uh-oh. Peasant! I realize now the true purpose of my visit is to extinguish your light. Uh-oh. Oni waves his katana in the air at you menacingly. Like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Like great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, apparently. Hold up there, Grandpops. Not so fast. You're only supposed to kill them if they deserve it. First, you should get to know them a little better. Young people these days, always wanting to kill people, insisting they must deserve it. Back in my day, you did what needed to be done because your nobility depended on it. In his day? For such an imposing presence, he sure is giving off serious old man yells at cloud vibes. You see, when I was a young man, we didn't have foreigners in our land. Didn't need 'em. We had an abundance of culture already. A little too much if you ask me. But I didn't make the rules. The rules did. The rulers did exactly how it should be. Literature, arts, commerce, theater, fashion, poetry, puppet shows, ghost stories, courtesans, gambling. Gambling? This voice is just fucking with my whole brain. Fighting, fine dining, fast food, public executions. What were we talking about? Spirit giggles at her great-great... Okay, I'm not saying all of those every time. At Oni's forgetfulness. You wonder, does she even like this guy? She sure hates her father, so... Listen up, old man. We don't have time for you to list... We don't have time for you to a list. English go... of every activity available to a samurai in the entirety of the Edo period. Silence, peasant! You're showing your ignorance. Samurai were forbade from many activities that didn't befit the Bushido code, such as attending certain theatrical performances, for instance. Sometimes, however, a samurai would put on a disguise in order to seek out entertainment.
Now, I'm not saying I did that because I had honor and a body built like an entire castle that is quite hard to hide. But clearly, you have neither my honor nor my physique. You don't even know about the ins and outs of the shifting rules of traditional Japanese samurai etiquette. You fool! Okay, I mean, it's kind of cool that Oni has appeared in this game, but can he kind of, like, go away? Not just because I'm done with this voice, but because he's kind of annoying me. Rin, what would you want with such an uneducated admirer as this? You find it hard to believe that any contemporary person knows all that much about who was and wasn't allowed to do what leisure activities over 100 years ago. However, you're really not sure how to handle this massive demonic old man. Oh, wait, I get it. Sweet Rin, my beautiful descendant, you've invited me here to do what you're too kind to do. Bash this jerk's head in. Claude, Doris, fetch my cannonbow. Rin, wrap your robe around this mongrel's hands and hold them still. We'll splatter their brains on the beach together, as a family. Grandpa, no. That's not why I invited you here at all. In fact, I didn't invite you. Claudette and Dwight did. Ah, yes, sure. Wink, wink, wink. Why does everyone have to say the winks? This whole saying wink out loud thing is getting a little out of hand. Him and Trapper really do have a lot in common, don't they? I swear she has a good soul and the heart of a warrior. They fought for my love in their own way, faced down death more than once, and put up with their fair share of nonsense. Nonsense which seems to be endless. Oh yeah, sorry, that's... Nonsense which seems to be endless. Can we, I don't know, wrap this up already? Of course. Who am I to expect anyone to wait around for my approval? I've only been hanging out as a ghost or watching my bloodline be polluted by cowards and quitters for 5 generations. Just come give your ancestor-in-law a hug. Sword drawn, Oni beckons you closer. There's no way he has ever hugged anyone in his entire life. Yeah, I think I'm good over here, actually. Rin, now! Push them my way and I'll split them in half. The sacrifice of this usurper to the Yamaoka bloodline will surely bring us back to life and set us back on the course of honor. You're so silly, Grandpa. We both know that that only one sacrifice can get our family back on track.
Revenge on my father, your great-great-great-great-grandson, traitor to the Yamaoka name!
The lust for violence in your voice. It fills me with cheer. I'll never forget who I am. I suppose if this is the person you want to be with, to go on your journey of bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the Sorry, this voice really is not great for me. Why did I choose to go this route? I suppose if this is the person you want to be with, to go on your journey of bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the same cherry tree that was planted centuries ago by our ancestors. And if she ever treats me poorly, you have my word on our family's honor, I will wield my katana and gut them like a fish. A tear rolls down from behind Oni's demonic mask. You sure you want to marry into this? One last word of advice, my dear girl. The father stuff, don't forget it. But maybe stop focusing so specifically and obsessively on it. What he did, it was awful. But it was already done. Do something for yourself now. Just my 2 cents. Be well, Rin. I will see you again soon. Now let's go, servants. Clint, Dennis, return me to the stables. I assume my dragon has been fed and tended to. Yes, sure. I swear this is still better than dealing with Trapper's dad. I'm sorry if I was disrespectful of your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He seemed like a very special man. I realize I will never measure up to someone like that. A warrior with a hell of a fashion sense. I mean, that mask. Don't worry, I would never expect you to, or want you to, really. If all I wanted was the biggest brute alive, I'd be down in Trapper's Cave right now, avoiding his vintage bear traps. But that's not the life I've imagined for myself. This sense of abstract duty, anger at the world changing around me, a lust for blood, that's no way to live. And yet, as you now know, this is the Yamaoka way of life. Forever, I'm cursed to battle against the dragon that lives inside me. Or at least, maybe I was. Until now. Call me the Dragon Tamer, baby. You haven't won this game yet. Please, don't ruin it. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. I think we've spent enough time in this lantern room. We should get back to the beach. What? Wait, are we not... Are we not... Huh? Are we not, you know... Huh? The moonlight sets a romantic mood as storm clouds roll in and surround the black lighthouse. You know, the sun might have set, but if we wait long enough, it will rise again. The spirit removes her sheer robe, showing you her strappy black bikini. Her pale skin glows under the light of the moon. Maybe you could get a head start on applying tomorrow's sunscreen. Again? I mean, yeah, of course. Last time was, well, I definitely felt more connected to you afterwards. To be totally real with you, I kinda just asked you as a goof, but I really enjoyed it. I swear, though, if you tell anyone about this, I will not be labeled a foot freak. Not that there is anything wrong with feet, it's just that something about that kind of attention really gets people talking. Steady, steady. Oh, boy. Almost. Almost. Yes! Oh, no. Yes! Almost. Oh, fuck. Almost. I'm just gonna stop talking about this whole thing. Uh-huh. Okay. God, that's so damn hot. I love feeling your hands sliding up and down my feet and in between my toes. My skin has never been more...
moist.
Get up here right now. Before you can find a towel to wipe off your lotioned hands, a spirit grabs you and pulls you in close. Her lips lock onto yours. They're surprisingly soft and warm. The sensation is incredible. Clouds cover the moon and you find yourself on the beach with Spirit in complete darkness. You can feel the narrow straps of her bathing suit come undone and come to life, snaking through the air, wrapping around your body, lifting you up off your feet. Come here, you. So this is what it feels like to fly. So this is love. Mm-hmm. As Spirit pulls you close, you feel bits of glass press into your flesh. Pain and pleasure mix and wash over you like the ocean, salty air stinging your skin as you writhe against your undead lover. The lighthouse howls. In the darkness, you're pretty sure that Spirit lets the dragon inside of her take over. If it kills you, you're sure it will have all been worth it. The clouds part just as you manage to pull yourself, exhausted, away from Spirit. A chunk of broken glass is lodged in your shoulder. When you pluck it from your skin, it drips blood. Sorry, I think this got stuck to me when I was having the best night of my life. Spirit drags her fingertip over the sharp end of the glass shard. Keep it. Consider it a memento. I've got plenty more where that came from. Back on the beach, the other killers roll their eyes as you show up with Spirit, doing that couples thing where you walk with your hands in each other's back pockets. You know it's obnoxious, but love will do that to a person.
The last day, you beautiful piece of meat. You've done so well. We're almost at the finish line. You didn't think I brought you all this way without a plan, did you? What kind of sinister body of saltwater do you think I am?
Welcome back. Since you're both still alive, we can assume you had a good time. You point to the many open wounds on your body, complete with bits of sand and dirt stuck in them. Yeah, you could say that. I think some of those might be infected. You should really get them checked out. If you're actually going through with this, the thing you should get checked out is your head, my friend. Spirit is absolutely nuts! You won't survive a week dating her. Didn't you just give your blessing like 3 scenes ago? You might think that she's all sad and introspective, but the truth is she's a demon hell-bent on revenge who will ultimately stop at nothing to satisfy the lust for death that courses through her veins. I can't get her out of my mind. Duh. I know all of that, and I think it's hot. She's the goth girlfriend of my dreams, and you're just jealous you lost her, so you're trying to run me out of town. Well, guess what? I'm not scared of you. I'm with Written Out and she's got my back. Literally. She carved her name in it with a piece of broken glass. Thank God it was only 3 letters long. Well, alright, we get it. Everyone is super tough. All you do is kill, no matter what. But we've got a show to finish and this is the finale, so we need you to hold on for just a moment longer. After all, that was the point of this whole experience. To give even the most demented killers a chance at finding love. And it worked. To think my official bio called me distinctly below average. Well, look at me now, world. I'm about to officiate the wedding of 2 complete maniacs. Wedding? Huh? Please, Spirit, take this bouquet and prepare your vows. As soon as you both say I do, we can send you off on your exclusive honeymoon. Hold up. Nobody is saying I do today. Yeah, nobody is... Wait, what? Marriage is an archaic social institution put in place by men in power thousands of years ago to maintain their control on the world. Well, this is awkward. I'm not interested in playing their game. I'm not interested in doing what anyone tells me or living by any rules that I don't believe in. Deep down in my heart. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't remember being asked if I wanted to take part in this bootleg reality TV bullshit in the first place. Did anyone here agree to this? I'm still not entirely sure what's going on. Spirit has manifested her katana. And in a moment, the mood has changed from a romantic climax to a place of terror. Whoa, we're all having fun here. If you just say I do, we can... I won't. With a slice of her blade, Claudette is no more, replaced by 2 halves of Claudette, neither of which are especially alive. Dwight is horrified. There's a chance he actually wet himself. Lucky for him, khaki hides a lot of things. Unlucky for him, urine isn't one of them. Meanwhile, Trapper, Huntress, and Wraith are eating popcorn. Where'd they get popcorn? Nobody ever offers me popcorn. You were under the impression that Claudette and Dwight did all of the cooking around here, so sorry. Now's not the time to think about who popped the popcorn. A gruesome murder just happened. This is for you. You know what to do. Spirit hands you her katana. You look on a whimpering Dwight and feel everyone waiting for you to put him out of his misery. Look, I'm here on a very tight schedule. You respect schedules, right? If you kill me, I'm afraid of what comes next, so I don't know, could you not? You think back to that strange moment in the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. When the light hit Dwight, there was something off about it all, as if he wasn't real. Or at least, not really human. But is that a good reason to do him in with Spirit's katana? Or is that actually a reason not to kill him? This doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is taking control.
taking it away from them, taking it into your own hands and carving out a new destiny for yourself. Kill this pathetic worm. Kill him and join me on my mission.
Together we will be unstoppable!
That's quite an offer. What are you gonna do? I'ma fucking kill him! You raise Spirit's katana, and with the ease of slicing a wedding cake, you cut him in two. His dead body slumps on the ground in front of you. That was so incredibly sexy. Rin places her hands over yours and you both hold her katana, your fingers intertwined. You look to the other killers and see something new on their faces. Respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. You're one of them now. Ruthless, uncompromising, splattered with blood. A killer. My father is really going to crap his pants when he sees the two of us coming. Wow. What are you waiting for, lover? You sit on the beach below the black lighthouse, watching seagulls devour the liver of a dead pirate who was washed up on the shore. Just thinking about how much I love you, Rin. Well, stop thinking and show me. You think we'll ever leave this place? What do you care? I hope we don't.